So let us start with today's episode. Now, what are the learning objectives of today's lesson? Now, first we should understand that what is the role of small intestine and large intestine in digestion. We should understand the parts of small intestine and its secretions. We should also learn at the end of this lesson that what is the main parts of large intestine and what are its functions. Now, let us start first with what is small intestine. Now, small intestine actually it is a 7 meters long tube like structure. It is 2.5 centimeter wide. Now we all know that it is a coiled thing which is inside our abdominal region or inside our abdomen. It is divisible into 3 main parts. First one is duodenum, middle part is jejunum, and the posterior part is known as ileum. Okay, so it is a coiled tube like structure which is folded inside the abdomen, and it is 7 meters long and 2.5 centimeters wide, and it is divided into 3 main parts, that is duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Now let us move on to the next part where we have the diagram of small intestine. Now here we will see the main parts of small intestine, how they look like and what is their actual function. Now first let us look into the first part of the small intestine, that is the duodenum. Now here you can see I am pointing that it is a C-shaped structure, and it is commonly opening into this is duodenum is from the stomach. The common bile duct opens into the duodenum. Now duodenum is actually a C-shaped structure, and it is the shortest part of the small intestine. It is a fixed part. You can see here from the stomach to the small intestine, it is a C-shaped structure, and it is actually the shortest part of the small intestine. Now next comes the jejunum. This coiled full part is the jejunum. So jejunum, what is this part means? It actually means empty. As it remains empty, it is about 2 meters long, and it is now it is descending from the duodenum. We are coming down to the jejunum, and then it comes to the ileum. This part is the ileum. So what is it? Ileum means a twist. In this ileum part you can see a twist. As it is twisted is about 4 meters in length. This is a twisted part. This is 4 meters in length. Jejunum, it is 2 meters in length, and this duodenum, this was the shortest part, and it was C in shape. Now it is 2 meters, and jejunum we can say it's 4 meters, right? So it is 4 meters in shape. Now we can say that the small intestine is suspended from the posterior abdominal cavity. Before we can say that it was the duodenum after the stomach was a fixed part. After that, the small intestine, it is suspended from the posterior abdominal wall by a double layered fold of peritoneum called mesentery. Now it is having a double layered fold called mesentery. Okay, it is a double layered fold of peritoneum. Now if we are doing a transverse section of this, we will get the inner lining of the intestinal wall, that I will show you in the next slide. Now if this you are doing a transverse section, we will see the inner lining wall, it is having villi or villus. It is covered by a cell thick epithelium, single cell thick epithelium, and they actually, what is villus? These are like this. These are structures like this, villi. Now what they generally do, they increase the surface area. If they are in a folded form, when you stretch this, they increase the surface area. So these are all villi. Okay, these are all villi structures. So these are all present in the inner wall of the small intestine with finger-like projections. Okay, so they greatly increase the surface area and available for the absorption of digested food and aid in mixing the actions. Now duodenum receives secretions. They from where? The duodenum receives secretions from the pancreas. That is, they are receiving digestive juice, From the liver it is getting secretion, that is the bile juice. Now ileum from where it is getting? It is getting from the intestinal glands that secretes the intestinal juice called the succus entericus. Okay, these are all the new terms that you get to know now. So duodenum is receiving from the pancreatic juice and from the bile juice. So pancreatic juice is coming from the pancreas and bile juice is coming from the liver. And the intestinal glands, ileum is getting from the intestinal glands which secretes the intestinal juice or succus entericus. Now small intestine, they complete the digestion of the nutrients in chyme, and they actually they transport the remaining residues to the large intestine. Okay, they are the absorption of the products of digestion is done here. They are completing the digestion here, and they are passing or transporting the remaining residues to the large intestine. Now let us move on to the inner part of the small intestine. So this is the inner wall of the small intestine. So what are the three main cells here? We can see here, first is the mucous goblet cell, then the epithelial cell, then the Paneth cell. So what are these goblet cells secreting? They are secreting mucus. What are these epithelial cells secreting? They are secreting sucrose, maltose, lactose and intestinal lipase. So the Paneth cells, what are they secreting? They are secreting antimicrobial proteins including lysozyme. So these lysozyme or antimicrobial proteins, they also lead to several types of inflammatory diseases also. Okay, so these are all the inner wall. These are the villi like projections. So these intestinal villi, that is villi is the plural form of villus. Villus is the singular form. Okay, these are all the finger like projections. The inner layer which is having the finger like projections, and they are having these types of cells. Okay, is it clear to everyone? If here you are having any doubt, please do ask me in your comment box so that I can explain it again. So these cells, actually what they are doing, the goblet cells are secreting mucus. The intestinal cells, that is the epithelial cells, they are secreting the peptidases or sucrose or maltose, lactase and intestinal lipase. And there are several other intestinal glands also at the bases. We can see several intestinal glands also are there. So they are secreting large amounts of watery fluid which carry the digestive products into the villi. Okay, these are secreting many types of watery fluid which are carrying the digestive products into the villi. Now next we will move on to the large intestine. Now here comes the large intestine. What is it doing? The large intestine is absorbing water. It is absorbing electrolytes and forms and stores feces. So what is this feces? That is the stool. Now in human it is about 1.5 to 1.8 meter long and about 6.5 centimeter in diameter. So is it okay? So it is 6.5 centimeter in diameter, 1.5 meter to 1.8 meter long, and it has three parts: cecum, colon and rectum. It absorbs waters and electrolytes, okay, and forms and stores feces. So is it clear? Now we will move on to the diagrammatic representation of large intestine. Now let us see here what is it showing. Now large intestine, three main parts: cecum, colon and rectum, as we have discussed in the previous slide. Now here comes the last part. The last part is the rectum. Okay, here is the last part, the rectum. Now the first part is the cecum. So what is it? It is a small blind pouch at the junction of the small intestine. Here the small intestine ends. So at the junction of the small intestine it is a blind pouch, and here you can see it is a worm like shape, right? It is called the vermiform appendix, which projects from the blind end of the cecum. and it is a functionless vestigial organ. So what is a vestigial organ? The organ which is not yet used. We are not using this appendix, and when this appendix gets inflamed, you need to cut it out, you need to operate it out. That is called appendicitis. That is a disease. So this part, when this appendix is inflamed, or this is causing a problem in your stomach or intestine, this has to be removed. This has no function other than it is a vestigial organ. And this vermiform appendix, it is a worm shaped tube like structure. It is found in the first part where the cecum blind end, from the blind end of the cecum, it is coming out. Now the second part is the colon. Colon has three parts: the ascending colon, the transverse colon, and the descending colon. Okay, the colon is the next part, which is actually 1.0 meter in length. It passes from the right side of the abdomen to the left. So it is passing from the right side of the abdomen to the left side. So is it clear? And the absorption of the water is taking place in the colon. We have told in the previous slide that the absorption of water is happening in the large intestine. How the absorption of water is happening? In the large intestine, in this ascending colon, in this transverse colon, and in this descending colon, the absorption of water takes place. Now what happens in the rectum, or the last part of the large intestine? It is the last part of the intestine, which is actually 15 centimeter long. It opens outside through the anus, and it is guarded by an involuntary internal sphincter and a voluntary external and anal sphincter muscles, which controls the bowel movement through the anus. So this is the anus. From here the bowel comes out, but there are sphincters here which controls the bowel movement. So when a person needs to defecate, the sphincter opens up, and the bowel or the stool or the feces, whatever you say, it comes out. So there is always a sphincter control. So that is like a valve or a strong muscle which closes after the bowel movement is over, and it opens when you feel to defecate. So this is the main function of large intestine. It is having three parts: the cecum, the colon, and the rectum. Now the colon is again divided into three parts: the ascending colon, the transverse colon, and the descending colon. And next the stool comes out through the anus. And what is the main function of the colon? It absorbs the water and the electrolytes. Now next we will see, just sum up with the functions of the large intestine. Now what are the main two functions of the large intestine? It does not absorb or digest the nutrients, but it does secrete the mucus. The large intestine, it absorbs the electrolytes and waters. So it is quite a small part where I have discussed about the small intestine and the large intestine, its functions and its structures. So structural and functional things I have discussed here. Next episode I will be coming with the glands, main important glands of digestion, that is the liver and the pancreas. Now today here I would like to end my topic, and please go through your textbook, whatever textbook you are learning, whatever textbook you are going through, so that you can get a clear idea of what I have taught today. So it is very much necessary that you go through your textbook, you read the lesson, and if you are still not getting what I have taught, please write in my comment box, and so that in the next episode I can clear out your doubts. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.